Hello, history buffs, time travelers, and scholars. A man of contradictions and extremes, John Henry Doc Holliday was a gambler, a killer, and a man whose rough edges were matched only by his wit and loyalty. A restless soul with a bagged leg, Doc earned his reputation as a professional cutthroat, unapologetically robbing stages or even stealing sheep without a second thought. He was a stone-cold killer, a heavy drinker, and a whoremonger who didn't hesitate to cheat at cards. Yet, despite his flaws, he somehow managed to have many friends and staunch supporters. The enigma of Doc Holliday. Doc was a dentist by trade, a gambler by necessity, and a wanderer shaped by disease and hardship. His sharp mind and caustic humor painted him as a philosopher of sorts, though life had made him a vagabond. Despite his grim persona, three qualities redeemed him: his unparalleled courage, unwavering loyalty to friends, and his enduring affection for Wyatt Earp. Opinions about Doc vary widely. Was he misunderstood, or did he simply receive the justice he deserved? Was he a good man, a bad one, or something more complex? Something profoundly human? To understand him, we must set aside the myths and take a closer look at his life. Born on August 14, 1851, in Griffin, Georgia, to Henry Burroughs, Holliday and Alice McKay Holliday, Doc's early years were far from easy. Even his best friend, Wyatt Earp, mistakenly listed his birth year as 1852 in a eulogy. An erroneous tombstone in Colorado's Linwood Cemetery carried the same mistake for decades until it was corrected in 2004 with a new monument more fitting to his era. Doc came into the world with a cleft palate, a condition his mother, Alice, painstakingly managed by feeding him with a spoon and an eye drop. His uncle, Dr. John Stiles Holliday, successfully operated on the infant, and the boy was named John in his honor. Although the surgery was a success, Doc likely retained a slight speech impediment throughout his life. Tragedy struck early in Doc's life. His older sister, Martha Eleonora, died as an infant, leaving him as the sole child of Henry and Alice Holliday. His mother passed away from tuberculosis when he was just 15, a disease that would later claim his life. Doc likely contracted the illness from her, a cruel twist of fate that defined much of his existence. Despite rumors of a young Holliday killing black children in a Georgia swimming hole, no credible evidence supports such claims. Similarly, stories of Doc leaving his pistols to a nephew are baseless, as he had no siblings who survived to have children. Holliday's father, Henry, served as a major in the Confederate Army during the Civil War, providing Doc with a connection to the tumultuous history of the South. Yet, the man who would become infamous as a gambler and gunslinger carved his own path, a blend of brilliance, brutality, and an unshakable loyalty to the few he truly cared for. Doc Holliday, separating myth from reality. The legend of Doc Holliday is packed with larger-than-life stories, but many of them are exaggerated or misunderstood. One such story involves a young Doc reportedly shooting at boys playing in a swimming hole. In reality, he fired over their heads to scare them, not harm them. Over time, this minor event was turned into a wildly inaccurate tale of violence. As a child, Doc's love for cards began with Sophie Walton, a young servant in his uncle's household. She taught him and his cousins various card games, including skinning, adapted from the game Faro. Doc showed a natural talent for cards, foreshadowing his later career as a gambler. While Hollywood often portrays Doc as a surgeon, he was actually a dentist. He graduated from the Pennsylvania College of Dental Surgery in 1872, earning his degree with a thesis titled Diseases of the Teeth. Many mistakenly claim he attended the Baltimore College of Dental Surgery, but this is incorrect. After graduation, he began his dental practice, but tuberculosis, likely contracted from his mother, soon forced him to seek a drier climate, pushing him westward. Doc's family also had an intriguing literary connection. His cousin, Martha Ann Maddie Holliday, joined the Sisters of Mercy and inspired the character Melanie Hamilton in Gone with the Wind. The connection stems from their relation to Margaret Mitchell, the author of the novel. Physically, Doc didn't match the image many hold today. Standing nearly 6 feet tall, he was described as platinum blonde by Virgil Earp's wife, Allie, though surviving photos often show him with dark hair, likely retouched. Wyatt Earp described him as long, lean, and ash blonde, painting a stark contrast to the dark-haired gunslinger often seen in films. When it comes to weapons, Doc preferred pistols over shotguns. His early favorite was an 1851 Colt Navy revolver gifted by his uncle. Later, he carried nickel-plated double-action Colts like the .41 caliber Thunderer and .38 caliber Lightning. Despite popular belief, Doc was not a fan of shotguns due to their powerful recoil. He only used one during the gunfight at the OK Corral, and even then, he discarded it after a single shot, opting instead for his trusty Colt. Beyond his skills as a gunslinger and gambler, Doc was a highly skilled dentist. Exhibits of his work, created alongside his dental partner Dr. John Seeger, earned him multiple awards at the North Texas Agricultural and Mechanical Fair. He won top honors for the best set of teeth in gold, the best in vulcanized rubber, and the best set of artificial teeth and dental wear. The real Doc Holliday was a man of contrasts. He was brilliant, yet plagued by illness, a fierce friend, yet a feared opponent, and a mythologized figure who still had a human side. His life, filled with triumphs and hardships, reminds us that the man behind the legend was far more complex than the stories suggest. Doc Holliday, Truths, Myths, and Big Nose. Kate. In 1873, Doc Holliday showcased his dental skills at the North Texas Agricultural and Mechanical Fair, earning prizes of a plate and $5 for each exhibit. For the time, this was a significant reward, highlighting his talent as a dentist. Doc's path crossed with Wyatt Earp in 1877 while Wyatt was on the trail of outlaw Dave Rudabaugh in Fort Griffin, Texas. Introduced by saloon owner John Chansey, this meeting marked the beginning of their legendary partnership. Around the same time, Doc met Mary Catherine Harrony, famously known as Big Nose Kate. She would become his lifelong companion, with their relationship lasting on and off until his death a decade later. Contrary to exaggerated stories, Doc was not violent toward Kate. These fabrications were propagated by a writer falsely claiming to publish nonfiction. Despite being disproven, these tales have tarnished Doc's reputation. Big Nose Kate, often misunderstood, was well-educated and came from a distinguished Hungarian family. Her father was a physician. To Doc, Kate must have been a rare beacon of refinement in the rough surroundings of the Old West. Kate claimed they were legally married, though no record of their marriage exists. A misattributed photograph showing a coarse-featured woman is often mistaken for Kate, but actually depicts a prostitute nicknamed Nosy Kate. Doc continued practicing dentistry even during his time in Dodge City, as evidenced by an advertisement he placed in the local paper. John Henry Holliday, dentist, very respectfully offers his professional services to the citizens of Dodge City and surrounding country during the summer. Office at room number 24, Dodge House. Where satisfaction is not given, money will be refunded. This ad not only highlights his commitment to his craft, but also his unusual policy of guaranteeing satisfaction, a reflection of his pride in his skills. Doc Holliday's life is a mix of truth and legend, with figures like Big Nose Kate often playing central roles in both. Their story is a testament to resilience and loyalty amidst the chaos of the Wild West. The complex legacy of Doc Holliday. The legacy of Doc Holliday is as complex as the man himself. Despite the myths that cast him as a bloodthirsty killer, the truth is far less dramatic, but no less intriguing. While stories abound of his supposed dozens of kills, historical evidence confirms only one: the death of Tom McGlory during the infamous gunfight at the OK Corral in Tombstone, Arizona. This shootout on October 26, 1881, remains one of the most storied events in Wild West history. But Holliday's role, though pivotal, has often been exaggerated by the passage of time and the flourish of storytelling. The Tombstone confrontation also involved the McGlory brothers, Billy Clanton, and the Earp brothers. In a heated standoff, Doc Holliday famously quipped to Frank McGlory, "Blaze away! You're a daisy if you have," as the tension reached a breaking point. Holliday was grazed in the hip during the chaos, but the Earps and Holliday emerged victorious, killing 3 of their adversaries. The subsequent trial acquitted Doc and the Earps, with Justice of the Peace Wells Spicer concluding that the killings were a necessary act carried out in the line of duty. The acquittal ensured their freedom, but did little to quell the storm of controversy or the lasting legend that grew around the event. Beyond this famed gunfight, Doc's life was punctuated by moments of resilience and wit, especially as he struggled against the debilitating effects of tuberculosis. His final recorded gunfight took place in Leadville, Colorado, in 1884, where desperation and his frail health played a significant role. Having borrowed $5 from Billy Allen, Holliday faced threats of violence when he could not repay the loan. Physically diminished, he weighed a mere 122 pounds at the time. Doc knew he stood no chance in a physical altercation with Allen, a man of far greater stature and strength. When Allen confronted him at Manny Hyman's saloon, Holliday acted decisively, shooting and wounding him. Witnesses and Doc's impassioned defense, in which he highlighted his weakened state, swayed the court to find him not guilty. This incident not only showcased his survival instincts, but also painted a picture of a man battling to maintain his dignity in the face of mounting challenges. Doc's journey toward the end of his life took him to Glenwood Springs, Colorado, in May 1887. Unlike the romanticized version of his arrival on a train, Holliday traveled by stagecoach to this small town, seeking relief from the sulfur-rich hot springs believed to alleviate the symptoms of tuberculosis. However, his condition continued to deteriorate rapidly. On November 8, 1887, in the modest confines of the Hotel Glenwood, Doc Holliday succumbed to his illness. Contrary to popular belief, he did not die in a sanitarium, but rather in a simple hotel room. At just 36 years old, his death marked the end of a remarkable life, a life that defied the odds for over a decade after his grim diagnosis. For those seeking to delve deeper into the man behind the legend, numerous authors have painstakingly explored Holliday's life. Bob Bowes-Bell's The Illustrated Life and Times of Doc Holliday is a vibrant work filled with original illustrations, rare photographs, and engaging anecdotes that bring Doc's story to life. Karen Holliday Tanner's Doc Holliday. A family portrait offers a personal perspective, drawing on family records and insights to provide a nuanced view of his character. Meanwhile, Ben Trawick's John Henry cuts through the layers of myth with rigorous research and rare documentation, offering an unvarnished look at the man often overshadowed by legend. Holliday's life is a testament to resilience, grit, and the human spirit's defiance of seemingly insurmountable odds. Far from the cold-blooded killer often depicted in folklore, he was a man shaped by hardship, loyalty, and the ever-present shadow of mortality. His legend endures not because of an exaggerated body count, but because of the complexities of his character. A man both larger than life and deeply human, who has continued to fascinate generations with his story. If you enjoyed unraveling the legend of Doc Holliday, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more incredible stories from history's Wild West. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update.